Yo, yo, what up? What up? This is your boy Heat Detector, and this is the check in. You got to bear with me for a minute. Got to clean my glasses. Can't see. And right before we were going live, I realized they were dirty as hell. So while we're at it, I want to give the disclaimer. Oh, man, I can barely see. Uh, we are not licensed therapists, counselors, or anything of that nature. This is just a channel really for people to come on, talk about their struggles, talk about their issues, possibly get some resolution, possibly get some help. I think it's really important. I don't take this channel lightly. Um, if you're thin skinned, this is probably not for you. If you're a person who is offended easily, man, this might not be for you. If you're a person that really wants and is seeking some type of help, this may help. But in that regard, don't if you hear something you don't like, man, just change the channel. That's all you got to do. You don't have to flag us. You don't have to report us, because the intent of this channel is not to harm or hurt anybody. The intent of this channel is to help, because we all go through it. We all have things. We all have issues. We all have stuff that we deal with. Shit, I'm one of them. So, with that being said, life is a journey every day. Every day something changes. Every day something happens. You know, we lose loved ones, either in the physical sense or the spiritual sense. We lose friends, family members, pets. There's there's a myriad of things that happen in life that shape and move us and change us. There's trauma. We all have trauma. We all have been through things. No one uh, is special in that regard. Nobody has been through life without any hurt or pain or struggles. Excuse me. And with that being said, so in this channel we like to talk about it. A lot of times to talk about these things helps, and maybe even help you understand what's going on in your mind, or something to help you manage those things that are going on in your mind, because the mind is a mofo, and things can get really overwhelming. And today I wanted to talk about something that, at least for me, I found very, very, very difficult to do. And it seems so simple, but it's hard to do. I mean, if you saw the heading, it's like when to be quiet, like when to say something, when not to say something. And sometimes you don't need to say anything. Sometimes you're better off just keeping your mouth shut. Other times, yeah, maybe you do need to say something. Sometimes silence can be abuse. Believe that? Yeah, when you ignore somebody, that can be abuse. And some of you might be saying, what? Well, it's controlling, and it's abuse. It's like an abusive type of control, like to punish somebody by not talking to them. You should always have some type of open communication with people, especially people you care about or love. I think that's important. Sometimes when I'm you have to excuse me. I'm trying to get to all of my channels and get everything situated. Sometimes with loved ones, we don't know when to shut up, and sometimes that can cause a lot of strife. It could cause a lot of pain. It could cause a lot of things, because when we get to talking too much, we also end up saying things we don't mean. we end up doing shit we don't mean because we're saying all this extra shit. And sometimes you need to just be quiet. Not to punish anybody, but just be quiet and get into your thoughts the right way. You know, like your mom used to say back in the day, think before you speak. You know, make sure that what comes out of your mouth isn't hurtful, or that you're not being vindictive or purposely trying to hurt someone. I don't understand why my live isn't going on YouTube. Let me double check. But like I said, I have found it very difficult at times to shut my damn mouth, for lack of better words, and it's gotten me in trouble on more than one occasion. I know how to let it go, or I overtalked something. A lot of shit difficult at times, and I've learned, or I'm learning to not necessarily keep my mouth shut, but to understand there's a time and a place for everything. And sometimes I just need to shut up, period, and get my thoughts together before they go run a little rampant. And I've learned, I used to say that, I don't have a temper, or I'm cool, calm, and collected. The truth is that I wasn't really as cool and calm and as collected as I thought I was, especially if I didn't shut the hell up. And that became a problem. It became real problematic for me and for people around me. I've been told so many times in my life, I couldn't even begin to tell you how many times in my life I've been told to shut up or shut the fuck up. Or because I didn't shut up, violence ensued. Things were said, and sometimes those things can't be taken back. So, so it's really important to understand when to be quiet. My boy OT used to always say, take 5 seconds, the 5-second rule before you say anything. Count to 5. And I thought that was silly as hell. But as I've been growing and on my journey, I've found that, that 5-second rule is real. When it's implied or when it's used. Shout out to Mos in the building. But it's hard to be quiet. It's hard to shut up. It's hard to even know when you're talking too much or when you're doing the most. Sometimes it's hard to figure that out, and especially amongst friends. We get comfortable with our friends, and we say things. Maybe we get into an argument with our friend, and it's just like, fuck you, man. I never liked you anyways. Or, I know you might be saying, who says that? But the truth is, what's up, Shy City Sheba? Glad you guys are here. But some of you might be saying, oh, that's crazy. I'd never say no shit like that to my friend. But I'm pretty sure it's happened. You just probably weren't aware that you were doing that or that had done that. We all say things. We all get into arguments. We have misunderstandings with people. And we say shit. And we don't think before we speak. And it seems like it's a simple thing, You think you know what you're saying, but you don't. But what's the right way to go about that? What's the right way to deal with that? There's the 5-second rule, Take a deep breath, count 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005 in your mind. And it gives you a second to at least pump the brakes. That doesn't always work. I know if I get anxious sometimes, and I do my best to get a grip on it, because I realized over the last few years that I have a lot of anxiety, and that anxiety, when it starts to flare up, I really don't know how to shut up. I get anxious. I get upset even faster. A lot of things emotionally start happening and physically start happening to me, which scares the shit out of me. And I'm a person that like, man, don't scare me. That's like I'll come out swinging, boy. I'll come out like a fucking lunatic. And I have to learn, had to learn to understand that when it was happening to me, my physical, sorry, but I had to learn to address those things as they were happening. My breathing, when my heart rate goes up, I had to learn how to address those things as they were happening in real time, not after the fact, but as they were happening. Because as they were happening, I would be able to control my mouth. Because I'd fuck around and say something, and before you know it, I'm 99.9% sure that what would come out of my mouth would be highly offensive and be on some ready for action type shit. And I know I'm not the only one that goes through that or does that or used to do that or whatever the case may be. I do my best, my very best to keep all of those things under control. And I have to think like where does all that stem from? Where does that come from? Why do I feel such angst? Or why do I feel anxious if I feel like I can't say anything? Or if I feel like I should say something? And when is the right time to say something? You know what I mean? I don't know that you should say anything to someone when you're pissed. I know I don't. I've learned that over the few years that if I get pissed off or anxious, even that anxious, I am liable to say some things that are going to be really hurtful and real fucked up. And if they're not hurtful and fucked up, they end up being hurtful and fucked up in the long run, if that makes any sense. It's like I'll say something that doesn't necessarily hurt that person right then and there, but given some time, it'll come back up and it'll end up being extremely hurtful. So I've gotten a pretty damn good grip on those things as of late. I'm not saying I have the greatest grip on them, but I do my best every day. And like I said, a lot of it is dealing with the physical and the mental side of it. But understanding my body immediately, like understanding what's happening to me in that moment. And like I said, in dealing with that in real time, if I feel my heart rate going up, I'm going to start breathing, nice, big, deep breaths to slow my heart rate down. And that in turn slows my thought process down. And I'm able to think more clearly before I jump the gun, And I think a lot of us, struggle with those things because situations, and not to mention everybody's already on edge. Everybody's already on edge. If it's not over finances, it's over relationships, it's over God knows what. They may have got written up at work or something. And, I don't want to trigger anybody. I've worked very hard to get where I'm at right now. And the last thing I want to do is trigger somebody because I sure in the fuck don't want to be triggered. I don't want to go down any dark holes, no rabbit holes or anything. I don't want to get into it with people I care about. I don't want to get into it with strangers. We all say we just want to go stay out the way, just live our lives. But we still got to interact with people, and we still got to be mindful of how we interact and how we behave with people and treat people how we want to be treated. That's a lost art form within itself. We all say we know that, and we all think we know that, and I think, for the most part, people are good, and people do treat people how they want to be treated, but even that can be fucked up, and that can be uh, used as a tool to manipulate. Uh, so I don't know, man. If anybody's got any great ideas to talk, when is it a good time to talk? Let's say you're arguing, or someone starts an argument with you, or somebody does something to you, and then they get home, and you've been brewing in that shit all day. Do you say something right then? Do you say something right then that you've been fucking practicing all day long in your mind? Like, oh, okay, I'm gonna communicate this really well. I'm gonna say all the right fucking things. But then your anxiety, your nerves, that person walks in, and before you know it, you're saying all kinds of shit. You're saying things that weren't even on your list of things to say. Uh, Shout out to DNA, man. He says, protect your energy, brother. Yeah, that's you got to. The exchange of energy is real. That's a real thing. That is a very real thing. He says, I still hold that law. If you don't, I'm not in your circle. I elevate 100%. I was telling somebody just recently, I had to cut loose quite a few people along this journey that I'm on. I had to cut them loose, like on some real shit, because the energy was just off. Everything was just off. And I found myself arguing with these people, and it's like, I'm elevating, as my man said. I'm elevating, and I need people around me that are gonna be like minded. I still love you, but I gotta love you from over there. Yeah, you stay over there, and I'm gonna love you from over there, because the energy that you bring is no bueno. It's not good. And when you start doing better, but the crazy thing is when you start doing better, you want to help people, but you can't help everybody. Not everybody wants to help. Not everybody wants to deal with things. Not everybody is ready. How about that? And then that's when the talking, shit, not everybody's ready. And they got every goddamn excuse to not do something. Every excuse to not fix something. And that could be frustrating. Is do you just shut up and just listen to them talk crazy to you? Like, do you shut up and just listen and go, well, the only reason I do this or do that because, last time my mama or whatever in the hell, and you just sitting there listening to that, and you're like, is this person out of their fucking mind? Is this person, what? What does it say? He said you shouldn't have to wrestle it. It should flow. We outgrow BS and see it. Yeah, 100%. But still, I mean, we do care for people. I do care for a lot of people. Some of them I just can't have them around me because of that type of energy. So what? Like that's the thing. Like so, okay, so do you talk to that person? Say you have them at a distance. And I'm not really asking this for me. I'm just like in general, part of the show is like asking these questions, even though they sound stupid sometimes. But you have to ask them because there's somebody probably out there right now that doesn't understand that, and you have to ask those questions as if, what do you do when you care about somebody and you love them, but you can't be around them because they say things, do shit, but you want to talk to them, but a part of you is saying, nah, fuck that, let them sit in their own shit. I mean, sometimes I guess that could be the right thing to do. Just let a person sit in their own shit because I don't know. What's that old saying? You got to hit rock bottom. When everybody's got their own rock bottom. I don't know. Let's see. Yes, but if the gems they have not learned, you have to make the decision to teach. And is it worth teaching and dropping gems? It's how they learn. Yeah, I agree. 100%. DNA. But I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough because I've sat and talked to people, man, and have It's if you have the time for it. True. I mean, sometimes we make time for people. You know, if you feel the need, if you feel like they need it, you should make time for them. I guess. Um, I struggle at times. Like I said, I don't know when to shut up. Yeah, you can't save everyone. That's true. Um, but like I sat and was talking to somebody one time, and I could not believe the level of ignorance that was coming out of their mouth. And the fact is that they had asked to come by. They needed a moment. They had lost their jobs, so on and so forth. I said, "Yeah, come through." And they said, "What are you doing?" I said, "None, man. I'm decompressing. I'm literally just sitting here watching TV. Actually, the TV's kind of watching me. I'm just chilling. I'm not doing nothing. I'm just sitting here eating cookies." And they came through, and I thought in my mind they wanted to talk and maybe or me just listen, and I did, and shit. The shit that they were saying, like they had lost their job, but the very thing that they were talking about and was like trying to like get me to like go up and go do some shit with them was the very shit that got them to lose their job. And then they kept going through their phone and showing me shit, and I'm just like, man, what the fuck are you doing? What in the fuck are you doing? And they're like, what? And I was like, dude, that's the very shit. That shit should be the last thing on your mind right now. That should be the last thing on your fucking mind. And they didn't understand that. And I sat there and I was like, huh. Okay, I can sit here and waste my breath because clearly this motherfucker is not hearing. He's not hearing this. He's not hearing this shit. They had just lost someone in their family too. Had just left from like a repass or something, and I just couldn't believe it. You know, maybe that was their way of dealing with whatever. But you also just lost your fucking job, and the very thing that you're trying to do or trying to go out and do is the very shit you lost your job over. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Hold on. It's some get it, some don't. It's normal. But true. I'm assuming you're saying true best advice is to one you give yourself, but don't listen. Misery loves company. Fuck yeah. Misery does love company. And that's why I keep them miserable motherfuckers away from me. You know what I'm saying? I you know, we end up in life meeting miserable people, but we don't necessarily know that they're miserable out the gate. But we figure it out quickly that motherfucker over there is miserable as fuck. But I know me, a lot of times I'll try to dig and find out what's going on, you know, and I do try to help as best I can. But if I see that somebody's not taking it in or not understanding, or you know, I just fall back. Like I'm not gonna sit and waste my breath. And experience is key. Yeah. So what anybody have any thoughts about when is the like say for instance, like I said earlier, your significant other or your best friend. Say you got a roommate, right? And he's been fucking up as a roommate, uh, not respecting your boundaries or your privacy. I don't know. I'm just throwing shit out there. But you've been thinking about this shit all day long, and then they finally get home, and you've been thinking to yourself, "Oh, I'm gonna say something as soon as they get here," and you've been thinking of all the right ways to say it, and then they get there, and you say all the wrong shit. It's happened. I mean, it's happened to me, but I do my best not to do that shit anymore. If you keep getting in the same situations, you need to move different and change the rotation. Absolutely. But like the thing is, DNA, like the conversation tonight is like, when is it a right time to talk? Like, even if you're struggling with childhood shit, when is the right time to talk to somebody and tell somebody something? Because we all struggle with traumas and with things that have happened to us, and sometimes they get overwhelming. when is the right time to say something? When is the right time to yeah, emotion is hard to control. Yeah, it is. That's why I said in the beginning, like I start to really listen to my body. If my breathing starts getting crazy and my heart rate starts going, I know I need to fall the fuck back. I know I need to breathe and get my heart rate back down before I fuck around and say something stupid. Uh, Sheba says, I learned that speaking on anything should have a goal of change or understanding. Keeping that in mind is a good start. Absolutely. Yeah. But like I said, especially if you formulate it all in your head sometimes, and then once the conversation gets going, you lose track of that goal or that change of understanding. You know what I'm saying? You lose track of those things, and or you get caught up in what the other person is saying, and before you know it, it's crying out, "Fuck you!" Well, fuck you. Well, you did this and you did that, and everything's gone out the window. Like what you should do, I believe, is just fall back, take a deep breath, tell that person we can revisit this later. Right now is not the time. Right now it doesn't feel right. Right now it's not cool. So I don't want to say anything to you that is going to be hurtful or fuck you up or something. You know what I mean? Or get physical. Some people get physical. So it's a good uh, rule of thumb that if you start feeling like that and you get into this type of engagement, it's good to just like walk away from it. You know what I mean? Just be like, yeah, this isn't going anywhere. Let's put a pin in it. Let's talk about this on another time when we both are calm and can have a an adult conversation. Like I said, I mean, we all. I don't think anybody really, really, truly knows when's the right time to talk, when's the right time to say something. But that shit can also drive you nuts if you don't say anything. Like if somebody's doing something to you or something's happening to you constantly, very consistent basis, and you don't know what to say, where to turn, what to do. That shit could fuck with you. It could fuck with your mental well being, and you do need to talk. I don't know. I just felt like it was something to talk about tonight because I also know in the past, especially me, my mouth has gotten me into a shit ton of trouble. Let's see here. Well, the human body is perfect. The heart rate goes up, blood sugar goes up. It's bad for both parties. If you speak your piece and then they don't listen, that's it. We don't listen and we see the good. At the same time, they're pulling you down and drown with them. Yeah. I said that to somebody the other day, man. I was talking about somebody's energy and I was just like, yeah, that's a person with all of that energy saying all of those things is the person that if they're drowning and you go to save them, they're pulling you down. Either they're gonna pull you down and you're gonna drown while they survive, or you both are gonna drown. You both are gonna drown. Don't even entertain it. Don't entertain it. And if you tell that person, you holler at them another time. Talk to them another time. You're 100% right, DNA. Yeah, I just felt the need to talk about that. I every Sunday when it comes to this, I don't ever think of my man's. I don't think of this show throughout the week. I mean, I do and I don't. But day of is the day that I come up with whatever the topic is going to be because I feel like it's just like whatever the universe is telling me to talk about, you know what I mean, or to speak on. I don't really make any plans and say, oh, today we're going to talk about trauma or today we're going to talk about grief. I talk about the things that hit me literally before the show. And that's what I talk about. So to me, I'm just listening to the universe. But at the same time, maybe I'm talking to myself and actually telling myself, verbalizing it out loud of some of the things that I still need to work on as well. You know, it's not, it's tough. It's not it's not something that you can fix or understand overnight. I've learned that over the past 3 years. Like, and that's really like when I started getting on this whole journey for about the last 3 years. And every day is a struggle. Every day is there's something else. And it's difficult to get a handle on all that shit all at once. You got to take these things one at a time. It's a big old mirror. Yeah, man, it is a big old mirror. Um, yeah, I struggle with a lot of shit, but I'm at a point in my life where even the struggles that I have, I'm ready to hit them head on and deal with them head on, you know? Um, Sheba says, I think approaching a person who can receive what you're saying is good. But if you can't get through to them, you got to think of you and your protection level. It has to matter. Yeah, that's something I've learned recently too. You know what I mean? Because if someone's wasn't like I've had people that just weren't taking in what I was saying, and it frustrated the fuck out of me. And it frustrated me to the point of me just like yelling at them and screaming like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Or what are you stupid? What the like? What fucking planet do you live on? Like saying this shit or doing these things or whatever." And you know, and that again, it's like that exchange of energy, man. It's a real thing, and yeah, I don't know. It's a journey every day. It's a journey every day. It's another new milestone or it's another setback. But I take the setbacks as milestones as well because I learn from every setback. I don't sit and wallow in it. I don't let it fester anymore. I learn from it. So it's still a milestone every day. I just I have to be mindful and recognize it, you know, for what it is. Because I stumble every day. Everybody stumbles every day. Just be mindful of it, you know, and understand that, you know, you'll probably get where you need to be. You know what I'm saying? I never in a million years thought I'd be where I'm at right now. Not drinking. I never even thought about that shit. And now I don't even think about drinking. You know what I mean? I never thought about quitting. Like not up until right towards the end. I kept telling myself, man, I should probably quit drinking. But I never took the initiative and I never did it. But uh I now like I don't even think about drinking anymore. It's that shit is passe. That ship has fucking sailed. I'm in such a better place in my thoughts. I'm in such a better place in my focus. I'm in a better place in being a good friend, a good father. I'm in a better place of doing a lot of things, and so I would never, ever take a step backwards like that. But even that's difficult. Not the drinking part, that shit's done. But you know, now that the drinking's not there, and I don't have shit to medicate myself with, and I have to deal with the things head on, that's difficult. But I'm, like I said earlier, I'm extremely ready for that. And I look forward to it. Even though I know that the shit is not going to feel good, I look forward to it. I look forward to challenge. I look forward to uh, overcoming odds. And even my own odds, my own stumbling blocks, my own hurdles, those most importantly. Every time I have a breakthrough within myself, I get extremely happy. I get extremely happy, man. It's a really good feeling because I know how I treat people. You know, like sometimes we think we treat people a certain way and we really don't. And now I'm so aware. I'm not over here saying like I'm a fucking angel or anything like that. But I'm aware of how I move. I'm aware of what I say. I'm aware of how I treat people. I'm aware of my behaviors around people and with people. And that shit makes me extremely happy because I can look at somebody and they can say whatever in the fuck they want to say to me. But I know how I'm treating them. I know I'm not saying shit to them. bad. I know I'm not saying anything vindictive, hurtful. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not doing shit. Minding my motherfucking business. When I say minding my business, I'm up here. I'm minding my business. This is my business, and I'm minding my business like that. And damn, Facebook blocked you, bro. What the hell? You keep every time you come out here, you keep getting blocked, bro. I don't know. I'm not doing it, but yeah. So when I say to people about mind your business, you know, that's that's self. I am my business. I got to mind my business. And if my business is to treat people better, and my business is to behave better, and my business is to be a better person, I'm gonna mind that shit. I'm gonna mind that shit real good too, because what I found out is uh, I do that, and what can you say to me? Can't say nothing. You can't say nothing. You can't say a goddamn thing to me because I understand me and I understand the business of me. You know, I'm my own McDonald's, man, and we have great customer service over here. But yeah, and even all of that has helped me to communicate with people and communicate how I feel without sounding like an asshole, even though sometimes it probably still comes out asshole ish. But hold on, Sheba says, your raw approach to how you handle things will either build you or break you. I learned that the more control you have over you will reflect everywhere else. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, and a lot of people don't like the way that I speak sometimes, but I don't know. It's the way I speak, you know? Haha. Salute DNA, my mans. I appreciate you, bro. But you know, all this shit is real, and I say all of these things. I say everything on this show that's on my mind, and I'm 100% honest about it because I know goddamn well I'm not the only person on the planet that feels this way. I can't be. God didn't make me that goddamn special. I know we all have similar things, and we all go through similar things, and my shit is no different. And that's like the one of the main reasons of doing this show is to help to talk about things because that's another thing that we have learned and have been taught as especially as young men not to talk about it, just deal with it. And I know that from just dealing with it, shit didn't help me out. Not as an adult, because it taught me how to not deal with things. It taught me how to hide things and suppress things and do other things that fucked me up even more. So I know for me, talking about these things, also, you know, talking about things helps you understand the things. No, I haven't seen him. Yeah, I don't know where D Nick is, but shout out to D Nick. I hope you're well wherever you're at, brother. Um, but I forgot what the hell I was saying. But it's all a work in progress. It's all a work in progress. You know, uh, I just give the best that I can give to people every day, and I do my best to talk about things again. Oh yeah, so the thing is like I'm a person that needs to verbalize shit. I sometimes I need to hear myself say it, you know, and I found that practice to be good. Even if I'm by myself, I need to hear myself say things, you know, like self affirmation type shit. I have to hear myself say sometimes because I do know that a lot of times for some people I speak extremely rough for some people or whatever, and I have to tell myself, you know, you're not a bad person. You're not a bad person for saying this. Or you're not a bad person for doing X, Y, Z. You know, because I feel guilty sometimes if I don't do something for somebody, or I feel guilty for other things, and it's just like, nah, I don't do that. I'm not going to torture. I can't keep torturing myself over these things, over feelings of abandonment, over uh, things that hurt me as a child, or over uh, death and grieving, and I can't keep doing that, and I have to make better steps and do better things to keep my mind clear of that shit. The most amazing people are the ones who can hear you and know your good intent. Our journey design us for who we are meant to connect to. Your tribe will get you. Yeah, that's big facts. You know, I had some shit happen recently. You know, I reached out to a bunch of people. Um, yeah, manifest destiny. Hell yeah, manifest. Speak that shit into existence. Hell yeah. I do that on a day-to-day basis. And but it felt good. Like I got some shit going on and I made some phone calls to a bunch of people. And you know, we say yeah, the clock don't wait for no one. Make it count. You dig? Hell yeah. Shout out to you, DNA. Man, I appreciate you, bro. Um, I got some shit planned and we hear people all the time, every day, like, yo, man, I fuck with you, man. I rock with you. Oh, you're dope. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. Yeah. You hear it. And I found myself at some points doubting what I was doing or doubting myself and doubting my decisions and the choices that I've been making on this journey that I'm on. Anyways, the other day I made some phone calls to some people and asked them for a favor for something I got planned. And shit, most of them, before I could even get the question or get to ask them, immediately they said whatever in the fuck you need, bro. And that shit fucked me up. It gave me goosebumps. I got emotional, not on the phone, but I was just like, man, a lot. When you change yourself and you change your behavior and you change how you treat people and you change all of these things, people change around you. And that shit felt good, man. I ain't even gonna lie. That shit felt good as fuck. Not that people treated me fucking shitty anyways before that, but I wasn't even aware of any of that shit before. And quite possibly I've had things like that happen before in the past, but it just went over my head and I wasn't even really appreciative of it. But I know I am now. I appreciate everybody that's in my life, everybody that's in my circle, my tribe, so to speak, or maybe I'm a part of their tribe, or we're part of a whole tribunal. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I'm appreciative of it. Yeah, I'm appreciative of the people that watch all of the shows that are on this channel. Some of them are goofy as hell. Some of them don't make no damn sense. Some of them are entertaining. Some of them not. But I'm appreciative of even the hate. I don't care. Like I don't let it affect me. But it's important that we all stay in the moment. And I just wanted to make sure that I got on here tonight and did this. And I want to say thank you to everybody that watches, everybody that especially this show. This show means so much to me, man. There is heads that will destroy you and heads that will build you. Hell yeah, 100%, bro. This is the one show that means the most. I don't do this show to make money or to try to make money off it or anything, because just as helpful as it's been to me over the past 2 years, I feel in my heart that it's helped someone else. And that's what keeps me doing this show, and that's why I love this fucking show so much. And also, I ain't gonna lie, this shit therapeutic as hell. But with that being said, it's a nice little check-in. I appreciate everybody that watched tonight. I appreciate you, DNA, my mans, you dig, and Shy City Sheba. Shout out to you. You always in here, and you always say the most beautiful, eloquent things. And they're very heartfelt, and they're very easy to understand, and they come from a place of sincerity, man. I appreciate it a lot. He said, strangers will support you. Strangers will support you more than family. That's true. This show has blessed me a lot. Oh, shit. Damn. Thank you, Sheba. You're going to make me tear up over here. Damn it. Don't do that. No, that's what's up. And this show has done a lot for me as well. And I appreciate everybody that has listened to the show and that has commented on the show and that has been a part of the show. I'll see you next Sunday at 8:30 for the check-in. Thank you so much. Everybody be blessed. Live in the moment. Wake up tomorrow. No matter how bad today was, wake up tomorrow and make it better. Peace.